The Florida Atlantic man, Greg Joseph, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Hard Rock Stadium. And they've got it up past the 35, so pretty good starting field position. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing to start here is Tua. Steps away to his left. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
And as a quarterback, you crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
They'll run for the first time with Raheem Mostert. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. Now this one, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 36 yards. And the Dolphins will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Well, they said that they wanted to get him involved early, and what a way to cap their opening drive, Charles. We know he's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL, and he showcased it on that play.
And when you have a guy like that, you want to make sure the defense sees him early, right? You want to see how they're going to adjust, how they're going to try and guard him, because they can't replicate his speed in practice unless they've got one of the few guys. And all it took was one drive. He burned them, and I don't think it's the last time they call his number in this one.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Pulls it in at the 13. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Dancing to his left. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
On 2nd and 10, Cousins. Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. 33 yards that time. It's a great throw right there, and really showed a lot of confidence in his receiver.
He certainly did. Ball was in the air a long time, but he counted on the adjustment that we saw near the end of the play. As that ball was descending, who was going to come down with it? He counted on his guy, and he gambled correctly.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
Well, after the success they had on the second play of the drive, I think they were trying to recreate it with that pass, weren't they?
Yeah, they were trying to go a little tic-tac-toe, 3 plays and in the end zone.
I like that. Can I just put the X in the middle to block as the defense just did there?
Sure. On play action, Cousins. Going for the deep ball. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And the tackle for loss goes to Eric Kendricks.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Completes it to the tight end, Smythe. Call it a gain of a yard, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
Get his attention because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Partner, we've got ourselves a ball game, and those guys on defense, they came to play. Slipped up on their first series, but they're definitely settling in now and letting it be known that points won't come so easy.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. He's going to try and go deep again. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks.
He's got a man complete. The 30. 10. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill, an even 90 yards. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. To throw, Cousins. Adam Thielen, back-to-back catches. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Flush to his right. And the 3rd interception thrown by Cousins. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. He got outside the pocket there trying to improvise, and he was calling for the ball downfield, but still the interception.
I think what happened, he did call for the ball thinking that he was open, but I think the quarterback spotted him too late. And that margin that he had on the defenders, that got eaten up, and they came.
And that'll be knocked away. it's incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Tua escaping the pressure right. And going deep for Hill. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They take over here following the interception. That's the good news. Their tough spot is the spot that they're in. That's inside the 5 in the shadow of their own goalpost here. 1st and 10.
There's a lot about that play you could easily see coming. Backed up in the shadow of their own goal line, you know they're going to face pressure.
He's lucky his arm was going forward. It was close, but it was going forward.
Yeah, it could have been a safety or even given up a defensive touchdown.
Out of his end zone, Cousins. Middle of the field to Jefferson. And they'll get him down up past the 15. They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him. 15 big yards.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
12-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Play action now. Cousins. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked out and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Cousins. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
To the air again, it's Cousins. Looking deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
Cousins to throw for it on 4th. He's going to go up top again. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add point. To the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Throw right side, going to be caught here by Waddle. And the Dolphins are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Here's Mostert, and he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Raheem Mostert, a 6-yard touchdown run, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. And can you believe it? He misses another one, his 3rd so far. So with a missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
Now Cousins. He's going to take another shot here. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
The scoreboard tells the story for him a little bit bleak, and while it's not quite desperation time yet, it's definitely getting close, but the defense reads the scoreboard as well. They're going to back up and make them really earn it.
4th down, Cousins. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. Off of play action. Tagovailoa. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Picked by Cameron Bynum. And the Vikings are going to have it here just past the 25. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They'd had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
Following the interception, Cousins. And incomplete on the deep ball.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, after incompletions on first and second down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on third down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Cousins. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, 74 yards.
And the Vikings are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Maybe that is the boost that this offense needed.
They've done nothing the entire half, but out of the blue comes this big shot here. You're exactly right. Like a dunk in basketball, like a home run in baseball, maybe a solo shot. Sometimes you need that big play to get things ignited.
Joseph connects on the extra point.
And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown.
And, oh, that's one he's going to want back. A poor...
Well, not one you see often there as he fails to keep it between the sidelines, and that is a penalty every time and going to give this offense better field position.
And it's every kickoff guy's nightmare, isn't it? Because you don't see yourself doing this, and most of the time you don't. It's absolutely a mishit.
And to a hit, and the ball is out.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Now on 2nd and 16. Tua got a man, complete to Cedric Wilson. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
He is going to find Hill here. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards. Setting to throw on 1st down is Tua. Forced out to his left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play. And he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Eric Kendricks. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
Here we go.
So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and... Throwing now is Tagovailoa.
Wilson's got it on the crossing route. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Tyreek Hill with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Dolphins will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Sanders on for the extra point. And oh, he clanks it off the right upright, and it's no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way.
He's got a man complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain of 39 that time.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure is good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Off the play fake, Cousins. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Yes, folks, that is his third interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not as...
And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ball game.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
Well, throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into a bigger point. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive.
Touchdown! K.J. Osborne as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Joseph on for the extra point. It's up and good, so they claw back into it. 24-14 now. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. And going deep for Hill. And now here is another interception. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it.
And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
People got the popcorn, got the remote. Let's give them a show.
First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
He's going to let it go again. And that's caught inside the 35.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
We have seen big plays from both quarterbacks throughout this game, and there's another one right there. Going back and forth, almost like two excellent guitar soloists trying to top each other with each additional play.
Cousins now to throw on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Osborne. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another first down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards. They'll throw again. Cousins. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
On second and goal, Cousins. Touchdown, Vikings.
Kirk Cousins on the connection to Justin Jefferson. And the Vikings are back within a score.
Joseph now to have the PAT. It's up and good, and this now becomes a 24-21 ball game.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown.
A break there for this offense.
Here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but
there he goes right side, and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Jalen Waddle, his second touchdown of the afternoon, and they are able to add on to their advantage. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 42. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Out to his left. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Third quarter from Miami. This is 2nd and 10.
To throw is Cousins. And this one is incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
Now Cousins on 4th down. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down.
So they get the flag for pass interference. Big call there on 4th down.
But it's the right call, and as much as I wanted to see them play through incidental contact, he's definitely there too early.
They go play action. Cousins. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they've got some extra work to do in order to climb all the way back.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. The linebacker Jordan Hicks flying in there for the sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Tua. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And now here's another interception. Picked by Cameron Bynum. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field, where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off Byron Jones.
So pass interference, the call there. Always, obviously, Charles, such a subjective call. You agree with the penalty?
Well, from where we're standing right now, I think the officials are tightening things up here in the second half. Maybe a defender gets away with that in the first, but this time the flag comes out, and I think it's a good call.
And now here's another interception. Picked off Byron Jones.
And the Dolphins are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he had won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. On play action, here's Tua. Open man downfield is Waddle. He's got it. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Tua going to throw. Caught by Wilson. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Now a timeout called for by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
They'll run with Mostert, and he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Raheem Mostert with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Dolphins are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Mike McDaniel, no hesitation on his end. He's telling his offense to go for 2. Tua going to try and throw for it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
It's funny to me because we actually keep a football in the booth with us during games, and I notice you cradling the football. You got it tucked pretty tight with the points of pressure here, and that didn't occur on that play, did it?
Now, you saying I wouldn't have fumbled if I was down there?
You would not have fumbled. You got that thing locked in tight.
I also have really large biceps. Yeah, they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Vikings on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. Flushed out right. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And that will force a turnover on downs. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Tua. Open man downfield is Hill. And he goes diving to get as much as he can, following a big gain. A nice little cherry on top there at the end. They'll get 34 yards there.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the third quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Tua Tagovailoa
punching it in from a yard away.
And the Dolphins have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter.
And it's no good. No, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
17 yards, first down, Vikings. Play fake. Cousins. Flush to his right. He'll let this go for the end zone. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Now Cousins here on the bootleg. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up third.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
And that will be incomplete. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
Gotta try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
Throwing again on second down. Tua, a quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Cedric Wilson, 46 yards. And the Dolphins up the lead to 4 scores now here in this fourth quarter. And you wonder now if he might be able to remove the helmet, put on the baseball cap, and watch the rest of this one from the sideline. His 5th touchdown pass of the game.
Say that again. Did you say 5th touchdown pass of the game?
Yes, sir.
Boy, that's a heck of a performance, isn't it? Because they've had no answer for him at all game long. Receivers have been open constantly, and he hasn't missed a single one of them.
It's a run with Mostert, and he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more.
I think this is is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st and 10, Cousins. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure, because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25. So at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And this one's incomplete. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football and give him now 4 interceptions in this game. That's only the 3rd time this has been done since the year 2000.
I think that tells you how much better teams have gotten at throwing the football. Because if you go all the way back to 1960, 12 times before that, there have been guys who've gotten 4 interceptions or more in a game. I mean, most recently, since 2000, Deltha O'Neal and D'Angelo Hall.
He's going to look deep down the field. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing is Cousins. Over the middle, complete. That's Osborne. Touchdown! K.J. Osborne, 45 yards. And the Vikings have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game, they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
And he is not going to get in here. So the decision to go for 2 does not pay off as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the fourth quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on first down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage.
Well done. To a hit, and the ball is out. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
And that's one of those mistakes. That's a fumble that when they get to the sidelines, I know you're mad, Coach, but look, we've still got this locked down. But that's not necessarily true, is it?
You know, their hopes are slim, but you just hate to give them any hope. You could have sealed it right there.
Yeah, could have finished them off and taken away all hope, as we like to say.
Cousins now after the fumble recovery. He's going to find Jefferson open downfield. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. They'll run with Cook. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Well, they knew a lot of steps had to happen here. They got step 1, the touchdown. You need a 2-point conversion here, don't you?
You do, and as you continue to look ahead, if they're able to get that, somehow get the ball back and get another score, they have to go for 2 again. That's why teams are practicing multiple 2-point plays.
We saw that in Super Bowl 51 with the Patriots getting a pair of big 2-point conversions. Cook, they'll try and run it. And they will get back to within 1 score as he is into the end zone, and the lead's cut to 8 here in the 4th. So still a small chance here with a little over 30 seconds to go, but they're definitely going to need this one to bounce their way. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up.
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? Clicking for the